What's up, YouTube? This is Strident, and I am coming to you with a little bit of inside information on a subject that's pretty near and dear to me. I was going around on YouTube last night, and I came across a couple posts and a couple, videos and whatnot of people talking about the most important toy in their collection. I'm an avid collector, so I figured let me get in on this. It's kind of a good and cool little topic to get into. Now, as you see pictured here, it is my Tech Shield Batman, which is like the first quality Batman figure that I ever got. I did not collect the Superpowers figures, and the first Toy Biz Batman I had when the movie came out, he shattered, I think twice. So this was the one that stood up to everything. I played with him the most. It was the first Batman I had that had a gimmick that actually made sense, even though, a gold costume is kind of weird, but it's kind of fitting since, 20 some odd years later, I'd still have the figure, and he's kind of like one of the important ones. But unlike what you might be thinking, he's important. But there's one other figure that I have that eclipses Tech Shield Batman. It's a figure that when I was a kid, I watched the cartoon all the time, and I always wanted him. But no matter what, Mom couldn't find him, Dad couldn't find him, I couldn't find him. They wanted me to do chores to get him, to earn him. And still, we'd go to Toys R Us, couldn't find him, and it's Optimus Prime. Most of my life, I wanted an Optimus Prime toy and could not find one. And during I want to say the end of my the end of my junior year, beginning of the senior year, I saw this figure in a Target, and I almost had a heart attack. I was like, holy shit, they made this? I was completely unaware because I wasn't really collecting Transformers. I was kind of collecting 12-inch figures, and I was customizing a lot of my own figures to make characters from my comics and stuff. And this was completely off the radar for me, completely. And I had to get it. And it's crazy, you wait 25 years for something. 25 years. This was the 25th anniversary Masterpiece Optimus Prime. You wait 25 years for something, and usually you wait that long and it's not really as good as what you remember. I mean, look at how many of us go back to old cartoons after we've become adults, and the cartoon is not the same. All those He-Man fans out there, I know they deny it, but you look at He-Man now and it's a really bad cartoon, poorly done, poorly written, everything, but people still enjoy it. Transformers is kind of like that for me, but being that I wasn't the most hardcore Transformers fan, my best friend, Agent O, he's the bigger fan of Transformers than I am, but I was a fan of Optimus Prime and could never find a figure. And it's crazy that now, because of the 3 movies, there's always an Optimus Prime figure in the store. But when we were kids, that wasn't the case. Mom tried to get him off the JCPenney catalog. She tried to get him from Service Merchandise, all these old stores that aren't around anymore and that had catalogs, and couldn't get them. So anyway, 25 years later, this thing came out, and it's an amazing piece of art. The articulation is better than most other figures on the market, and it makes sense for the figure. His fingers move individually. He's got double joints on most of his joints. He can get into any number of poses. I mean, there's some that they missed, but he's more posable than the Robots in Disguise Optimus Prime, which was the only Optimus that I was able to find ahead of time. But because it wasn't the one that I grew up seeing, it didn't really do the job for me. It's an awesome figure though, but nothing beats the red semi. I mean, there's nothing violent about it. It's just hauling stuff, and ended up being a heroic symbol, always on the road, always doing something, even though, the fire truck would have made more sense because it's helping people on a daily basis. We came to understand that the red semi it's always going somewhere across the United States, trying to help people, trying to do things, and I don't know, it just works. This figure was amazing because of not only the articulation, not only the sculpt, but there's little details like shocks The freaking figure has shocks. When in robot mode, the Matrix, he's got a Matrix in there. His chest opens up just like the movie, but like you can see kind of on the rear wheels, you can see the shocks. The figure's also die cast, which is awesome. And he's also the right scale next to the other Transformers classics, which was the line that was out at the time that this came out. You see they recreated his big old blaster, and it's just, it works. Everything works perfectly, and it's just like what you remember, with a lot of small embellishments that bring it up to date and make it a little bit more epic for today's collectors. Everything about the figure is just awesome, and then because of the nostalgic connection, it just it eclipsed my other figures. And you know I'm a hardcore Batman figure collector, but Optimus Prime was that like the holy grail of my, you know, action figure collection, and I'm glad I have him. I still play around with him every now and then from time to time, and it's cool because he's such a big, hefty figure that like typically I leave him in the box, and then, you know, I come back to him and it just makes me feel like I'm a little kid again, you know, like transforming him and everything. And you know, you never run out of stuff to do. I mean, look at the damn thing. It's amazing. And it's also the most awesome thing to sit there and geek out looking at him along with the other Autobots. So overall, it's probably the best Transformers figure, period. If there's one Transformer you need to have above all others, it'd be him. Now this figure goes for a couple hundred online. I got this figure when it was $65. So yeah, this is an awesome figure. I'm glad I have him. He's not going anywhere if I can help it, and that is my greatest figure in my collection. Hope you enjoyed watching the video, and stay tuned for my next vid, which will be a Q&A type deal where I answer what the best Batman figure is. Alright guys, peace.